This fort near Aurangabad was the Devgiri fort of the Yadavs in the 12th century. It has many tricks to befuddle the enemy and is almost impenetrable. After 100 years of Yadav possession, it came into the hands of the Khiljis, then passed on to the Tughlaqs of the Delhi Sultanate. The Tughlaq ruler, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, moved his capital from Delhi to Devgiri in 1328 and named the place Daulatabad. It was centrally located, and he believed this region had much wealth. But in 6 years, he realized the Daulat was not as promising, particularly in terms of rainfall. He moved back the capital to Delhi. Then the fort went to the Deccan Sultans, the Bahamanids, and subsequently to the Nizam Shahis of Ahmednagar. Shah Jahan made it a Mughal possession after a long siege, but the fort saw other rulers too. Briefly the Marathas, then the Nizams of Hyderabad, and after India's independence, it is under the care of the Archaeological Survey of India. The climb can be tiring for horses, foot soldiers, and visitors, but once on top, the extent of the land one can see is enormous. Other advantages of the fort are the dry and wet moats, once full of crocodiles, the spiked gate, false gates to distract the enemy, false doors that open up to the moat, gratings over passageways through which fire and boiling oil can be thrown down, several cannons, and a dark maze in which people can meet each other and think friend to be foe. But forts were not just to fight. There were palaces and entertainment halls, mosques and temples, women's laughter and children's cries. All these moments come alive in the sound and light show in another fort, the Golconda Fort in Hyderabad, as do the stories of heroism, romance, and intrigues. Eventually, this fort too belonged to the Nizams, but fell out of use long before independence. Golakonda means the hill of shepherds in Telugu. Golconda was also built in the 12th century by the Hindu Kakatiya dynasty. It passed on to the Bahamanids and then to the Qutub Shahi dynasty. These sultans made Golconda their capital and expanded the mud fort several times. Finally, after a long siege under Aurangzeb, the fort passed on to the Mughals. There are two other peculiarities of Golconda. Its cotton factories that exported cloth all over South Asia, and its diamonds, mined locally, which have now spread across the globe, such as the Kohinoor, the Hope Diamond, the Regent Diamond, the Darya-e-Noor. In 1598, the Qutub Shahi ruler moved his capital from Golconda to a nearby village he developed and called Hyderabad. He built a beautiful four-towered structure in the center of his new capital, with a mosque on the second floor. Markets fanned out from it and are now the busiest regions in the city. The architecture is Indo-Islamic with Persian influence, and Charminar is a most charming sight. The Charminar is called the Arc de Triomphe of the East. When the Nizam got hold of Hyderabad, they added a clock to the Charminar. Sometime in the 1960s, a Bhagya Lakshmi Hindu temple suddenly got attached to the base of the Charminar. which the Archaeological Survey of India has claimed to be unauthorized. But in the political climate of Hyderabad, removing it is very hard.